So, after withholding the results of today's tournament throughout the entirety of the deck list, time to actually disclose what the hell happened. Back to 5 rounds, of course, since it was a Sunday local. I went 3-1-1 in Swiss, with 3-1 loss and a draw, which I thought was pretty damn decent, but unfortunately, because of the sheer number of players participating in the local, which was approximately 56, I actually came nowhere near reaching top 8. Usually that would be, I'd be pretty close to making top 8. No, 27th I finished. There were actually a handful of 4-1 record players that actually didn't make the top 8, which means 4-1 now is no longer a sacred thing. It's just like, oh my god, you went 4-1, you made the top 8. No, that's not the case anymore. That's how tight the frickin' local is, and why I think the if the local does go over 50 players, I think it should be elevated to 6 rounds. And so that was a bit of a thing, but whatever. So round 1 I got some random deck, played a handful of crummy old artifacts, 2-0'd it. Nothing much need to be said there. Round 2 I played against a Zing, and game 1 ended a lot later than it should have, actually, because I had game on board. He had 1600 left, and I had 2 big masked heroes, and so I decided to try to do the funny move and go summon a Bubble Man and attack with both my Bubble Man for game, but somebody decided to play Torrential Tribute. It's good in Yang Zing, but for fuck's sake, it's still a terrible bloody card. At least in this bloody format it is, and so that pissed me off a bit, and so he was able to at least stage some sort of a fight back. I think he was stalling with, like, what do you call him? Fingus and Mingus. The bloody kid can stop screaming. With an Armades, which couldn't die by battle, so I'm just like, okay, we'll try that. Finally got over it with Absolute Zero and was able to push for the game, which was good. And then game 2, I can't remember if it was a misplay or if I bricked. I think I did brick a little bit. I didn't really see much in the way of monsters. And so I ended up clearing his board, managed to get a swing in. But then he pulled out a frickin' Goryo, stole my thing, and then I'm just like, Snatch Steal, Goryo! You didn't... And so, yeah, I didn't quite read... Where the fuck are ya? I didn't quite read this son of a bitch properly. Lovely, wouldn't it? So I scooped, and the men I scooped sudden death was called. And so, yeah, the judge decided, nope, no game 3 for you, that is a draw. I scooped before sudden death was called. That's... ugh, yuck. But, moving on, I'm over it, just moving on. I would probably have lost, and maybe have even lost the game 3 anyway, but now we'll never actually know. So round 3 I played against Bujin's. Pretty much, like, I established Dark Law very quickly, and so he was unable to do anything. Well, aside from attempt to negotiate, to debate rulings as to whether shit can go to the graveyard under Dark Law, and it can't. So that happened. I ended up winning that game just by running him over with Dark Law. Game 2, he put up a pretty decent field. I want to say this is when I dropped the Exciton, and I ended up like, yeah, I actually lost that because I actually should have held on to the, because I did it, because I used Exciton, blew everything up, he still had Susanoo because he had it, and so then I followed up and did it again, and blew up the thing, and that actually lost me the game because I should have just held on to it, waited until he went for the attack, and then just swept the board again, and then just, it would have freed me up to do whatever the hell I wanted to next turn, but I was far too bloody impatient for that, it seemed, so I ended up losing that game. But game 3, the order was pretty much restored. I got Dark Law very quickly and managed to wipe his back row out pretty quickly and just keep pushing over him for the good games. So, Bujin's, oh my god, the heroes just have them by the ball sack every time. And then round 4, I played against Superheavy Samurais. Now, this is an interesting game. I had some trouble. I had trouble in both games getting over his Blue Brawler. The Blue Brawler effect is I can't be just drop a battle. So I had problems getting over it. I was able to get I actually had 5 big extra deck monsters, so I actually had to top deck 2 Miracle Fusions in order to first one to get the Absolute Zero and the second one to Miracle the Abs Zero away so I could clear his board, and once I did that the floodgates opened and I won. Then game 2, he ended up with a field of Despots 001 and 003. He had 2 blue brawlers, one of which was equipped with like it had 3k defense, it got a 1000 defense boost, whatever the equip spell that was, plus he had a big Ben K. I had Acid and Absolute Zero. This actually made me think, yeah, I need that second Acid. Thankfully, though, I top-decked a Summoner Monk, and with that Summoner Monk, I was able to get it on the board, special a Shadow Mist, get a Mask Change, overlay those 2 into a Castell, and then use the Castell to send my Acid back to the extra deck. So then I could bring it out with Mask Change by using the Absolute Zero that was already on the board. So I was able to turn a stalled situation into something where I was just literally able to completely demolish everything that he put on board, and from there I basically it was basically another just case of floodgates opening and then just bam, victory. And then round 5 I played against Burning Abyss and I bricked both games. The only monster I actually saw game 2 was the Flying Sea, and so I ended up losing that 2-0, which was really, really bad. This deck has a decent Burning Abyss matchup because it just stops all their shit from going into the graveyard. And I thought, okay, this is actually a pretty decent thing. Break. I didn't have a chance. That is the thing. That was the big salt generator for today. And if I'd won it, assuming I'd even have had a chance, I would have easily made top 8. But instead, I went all the way down the ladder into 27th spot, which left me feeling a little bit, yeah. But for the most part, it was tiebreakers that actually dropped me down that low. I was expecting to be somewhere between 8th and 16th. Well, maybe I was expected to at least be 20 plus, not 27. That's the really, really sad part about that. I mean, it's, yeah, tiebreakers. It is what it is. But whatever. So for future events, there is definitely going to be another local on Thursday. Not one on Sunday though, because another store down some other bloody pathway, a little bit more distant away from me, is going to have a regional, so everybody from my locals is going to go to that regional. I'm not going to go there because from what I've heard, there's a whole bunch of obnoxious dipshits there, and I don't do obnoxious, just ill. So there's not going to be a local then, and I think there's still another 2 weeks at least, like after that Sunday, until the regional at my locals. So I don't think I'll be taking this deck. I'll probably be taking Satello Knights. You'll probably get a bit more information about that as the date draws closer, but yay. So that's about it. See you for whatever it is that I do next.